Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching a 100. This episode 7 of the 4th season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far, and if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. So it's been pretty crazy the last few episodes. It really has. The Ark has pretty much been destroyed. You know what I mean? It was set on fire, all the technology's gone, it's fell apart. They've literally only got a little bit that's left in it, and obviously the guy, the culprit who actually done this, has now been locked up, and kind of everybody wants to get revenge on him. You know, they're all fuming because obviously their only way of survival has now been destroyed, and they want to obviously reenact their revenge on him. So we've seen the start of the episode, they've gone in, they broke into the cage, they've all been beating him up before Kane's turned up with a gun, shot it, said anybody that gets closer to him, you know, will feel the wrath of me, so to speak, I'll take you out. So they've all kind of left. Now, what they've done is they've gone and tied him up pretty much in the ER. Do you know what I mean? He's there. He's being treated in medical, and obviously Octavia's there as well. Bellamy's come. He's having a conversation with her. You know, he's saying that he thought she was dead. He's so happy to see that she's alive. You know what I mean? He said that he was worried for her. She turned around and, you know, he said that I thought you was dead. She said, yeah, I have died. You know, I died the day that you killed Lincoln. That's what she said, specifically you, not Pike, you. Now, he said, mate, you can't say that. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. She turned around and was like, mate, that is the reason why you're alive. Literally, the only reason. Otherwise, you'd be dead like Pike. So that's crazy. And then obviously he's left. He's gone on this mad trip with Clark and Rowan. They've got to transport these fuel tank pretty much things to what's her name now, Raven. Do you know what I mean? She's running through these simulations. She's using Becca's machine. She's trying to do a safe landing back down to Earth after they go up into space, because obviously the only way that they can kind of survive now is the Nightblood. Right now that we can, you know, that's the only solution that we kind of got. Now she's on like a 28th 30th attempt of doing this, and it's not working, and she's kind of taking her anger out on Murphy, which I thought was pretty much unfair in my personal opinion. Last episode, she's kind of blaming him for everything that's going on. Now, again, really interesting. They're trying to transport, like I said, these barrels all the way to Raven. Now, on the way, they've met, you know, they was met with some of the grounders, you know what I mean? Some people who are going back to Polis, and they're trying to find Asgadens, you know what I mean? They want to take them out. They're not happy with Rowan, and they've ended up all fighting. They've ended up managing to get away, but they end up taking an arrow to one of the chambers, and obviously they've lost one of them. So now they don't have as much as they anticipated, which is throwing everything into chaos. Again, as he was trying to find a way to cross the river, a vehicle was stolen. Very interesting. Rowan turned around and said it was actually his people, and Bellamy and him have chased after them. Clark's obviously being held as captive. She's the one that's driving back to Polis, and obviously his men are the ones holding her. He's managed to jump from the vehicle that he's in with Bellamy, landed on the back of it, stabbed one of them, kicked him away before Bellamy spun in front of obviously Clark's vehicle, bang, shot somebody right in the head before obviously like she's come to a safe stop. Like I said, they only lost one barrel, which I thought was a success, to be honest, considering obviously the extreme conditions and circumstances that they was put in. And yeah, going back to Raven, she finally successfully using help from Murphy, who she's been going at all episode, where he said sack doing a controlled landing, do a manual one, land in the water, don't land on the earth. She's done it, she's ran it, and it actually worked. She safely landed without inflicting any casualties. As she's come out celebrating, you know, they've told her that Clark's just radioed in and they've lost one of the barrels, and then it's just sent her, mate. She's just fell and collapsed again, and she's having another one of these seizures. So that is literally the second time that we've seen that happen. That's how Raven's episode ended, and the way obviously the episode ended for Octavia is everybody's come in, they've not listened to Kane, do you know what I mean? They've influxed it, they've grabbed the prisoner, they've took him outside, they've knelt him down after beating him up. Octavia's got a gun to his head, she's going to pull the trigger, execute him, just like they've done with you know, like they've done with Lincoln, but emotions run wild, you know what I mean? It got to her, she's having flashbacks, she couldn't do it, she ended up crying, dropping the gun on the floor and just running off into the trees, which, you know what, I know I've been banging on that I like Octavia being a savage person, killing people, but I prefer it in a war, like stay in a fight, in a battle, do you know what I mean? Getting revenge on somebody that's kind of like inflicted pain or tried to attack her. Not somebody like him. Yes, he done a bad thing, but it wouldn't fit her character, and I feel like it would actually destroy her soul a little bit. So I'm glad that she didn't do that, because if you look at Pike compared to Octavia, it's a different type of kind of like killing. That one was ruthless and savage and executing a young lad like right there who was trying to just avenge his parents, obviously, who was possessed obviously by Ali, ended up killing his brother and losing his mum. You know what I mean? I just think that would have been ruthless, and I'm glad that she didn't kill him, but I'm interested to see how this affects her going forward. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Is that the same lad? Can't even see who it is. Yeah, it is.
Are you following me?
You won't survive out here alone. Let me help you.
I don't want anything from you.
Yo, that lightning's mad, mate.
Should be red.
Strange rain, he just said. Does it sting? Has it got some sort of different feel to it? Must do. Look, they're all reacting. I was gonna say, look at that guy. He's not got no coat on. Everybody else has. He's stuck out like a sore thumb. Yo, Harper's ripped. You see that six-pack?
I need to find Octavia. She's not here. You gotta trust that she found shelter, okay?
I thought that was an interesting start to the episode, to be honest. It's the first time we've actually seen the true real rain come down and it actually have an impact and affect somebody. Now Harper, you know, she's getting dragged back by that guy, and then obviously she's just left him and ran inside, but he's been pulled in. She's well ripped, mate. You should have seen the muscles on her just then. But interestingly, lightning was flashing all over the place, and I shit you not, yeah. The other day, lightning literally struck the ground, no joke, like 5-10 feet away from it. I was literally stood on a builder site, and it hit a piece of metal that was right in front of me, and it was so loud, right? Everybody that was on site literally come and just stood there. Was like, did you just see that? Did you hear that? I can't stress, mate. It was scary. It literally hit an impact like on the construction site. Mad. Never want to be anywhere near that again. It's so loud, but it's fascinating. It's interesting, and I want to see this guy now have some sort of scars or burns or something, because we've seen the boils and the hallucination on Abby's face when she was looking at Clark. Do you remember that time? I know she wasn't hit by it, but that's what I'm expecting, some sort of craziness like that being exposed. Octavia, oh, they both know the score. Get those clothes off. They haven't got any to change back into, have they?
Why don't you make a fire? You're good at that. God, it's really you.
I'll go check on Raven and Luna.
Is that Raven?
She's sedated in the biolab. She had another seizure.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine. We can't create night blood unless we go to space. But Luna can. We can inject ourselves with her bone marrow.
And we become Nightbloods. Can we do that here?
Becca was trying to find a cure for cancer using this radiation chamber.
We would have to expose a human being to enough radiation that would implode every single cell in their body.
Someone's got a volunteer, aren't they?
I'm heading up to the house. Does anyone want anything while I'm up there? You should go through. Okay, go. Take a shower. And we'll figure this out when you get back.
The more we're getting from that, I understand it's kind of like hush hush. Do you know what I mean? That was kind of like you got to expose somebody there, but they didn't say they got to pick somebody and force them to do it. I feel like this is another one of those situations where you just got to ask for a volunteer. Somebody will do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's... What's that film where... What's his name now? Bruce Willis flies up and he sacrifices himself. He flies up. Armageddon, is it? Sacrifice. Do you know what I mean? People introduce extreme measures to save people, and like you get somebody here sacrificing himself to come and test it if it means that they know that they're going to save the children, the wife, do you know what I mean, the family. But I totally forgot Amora was there. Do you know what I mean? She did turn up, didn't she, on the island with them, and then she just literally disappeared like for what, 3-4 episodes, and then just reappeared now. Yo, he's in a bad way actually.
To get him to medbay.
Medbay's full. I know it's difficult, but we need to prioritize.
I'm the reason he's not going to survive this.
Make him as comfortable as possible. From Sector 5, all 200 of their people are safe. The other sectors are still counting. The fire damage to that suit can cause tears you can't see, much less seal. I'm doing this.
Proper taped up suit, let's hope it works.
Useless.
Yo.
I'm on my way.
To be fair, he's in the car now.
No unnecessary risks.
Yeah, I think that they're all selling that pretty well, to be fair. Have you seen everybody that's exposed to it? They're either coughing, screaming, you know, panicking, rubbing themselves, heavy breathing. It's pretty good, do you know what I mean? To believe something, you got to sell it, and everyone so far has done well.
Just hate this island, that's all. Upset that our mission here has failed. Hopefully your mother will come up with another way. You're just like her, willing to do anything to save your people.
What I want to know is, she said that there's more scarier things than the drones lurking in the woods. Oh, it's Murphy. Look at him.
Oh my god. Wow. I'm gonna go get cleaned up.
Yeah, let me show you where to go.
Upstairs, down the hall. Getting out of here.
What? Now why?
I'll explain on the way to the bunker. I'm gonna sacrifice someone to test Nightblood. I'm the outsider, John, the freak trainer.
Hey, slow down, slow down.
Like, who has a sofa in the bedroom? I literally have that bed there and this desk, and that's it. Oh, somebody's broken.
Wait, take it easy.
There's someone here.
Oh, it's not her then. Oh, yes, mate, this is decent. Who is it? Oh. No, that is. Yes, Murphy.
If we don't kill him now, he will kill us.
You know him?
Bayless. Where are the others?
I don't know who the hell you think I am.
You don't know what he did to me.
Tie him up. Now there's a medicine cabinet upstairs. Can I fix this?
Mate, use him as your subject. He's prime target. Do you know what? I like that, actually. But, you know what's been flickering in my head a little bit ever since that rain dropped, and ever since, obviously, they was walking there and he was saying the rain was about to come to here. You know, Ravens told them. Right, radiation exposure, it stays in the atmosphere, doesn't it? So just because it's raining, like coming down and hitting their skin, once the rain goes away, is the radiation still in the atmosphere? Do you know what I mean? It still hit the ground. It's still there, is it not? So, like, it still wouldn't technically be safe to go outside, would it? Some people would be getting sick of it. That's what I would think anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's like if a power plant, if you go over and touch the radiation or whatever, yeah, you're going to get burned absolutely crisped up, mate. But also, you know, if it leaks and exposes itself and it's in the atmosphere, mate, that's big trouble. You have to lock that area off for years. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the fact that it's raining all over this forest, would that still not be a part of, like, do you know what I mean? Radiation that's exposed in those areas. So now they're going to have to watch walking in there. I think that they'll just ignore that factor of it because that's too in-depth, isn't it? It's pretty hardcore, that. That means that they're all confined to the ship and cars for the rest of the show. So I don't think they'll do that, but it's an interesting one to think of.
Read me. All quiet on me now. Gonna need a little help navigating what's the
Past the wreckage.
Don't be shit. The rain's blowing in.
Okay, you need to find something to use for cover.
There's nothing here.
Can't see anything, me. It's got to stay there. Got to stay there, mate.
Only what's happening. Stuck in the mud.
Just wait for the storm to pass.
It does.
Is that clear?
You can't do anything stupid now.
Am I supposed to tell them?
The truth? I'll be like, look, I'm literally around the corner. I'm stuck in the mud. You're going to have to either come to me or I can't get to you. I'm really sorry, man.
I can't get to you. Your only chance is just to wait a little longer, and when the rain stops, I can dig out.
It's not Bellamy's fault, man. The guy's tried.
Don't tell me you've never killed for revenge. I guess you're better than me, because I'm going to. I don't need you to protect me, Clark. I protect myself. I always have. Cast out of my clan as an infant because of this. Forced to kill. You know nothing of my pain. You think I have a choice? If we let Bayless live, he will come back. Second we let our guard down, he will strike. He will kill us all. But I am not gonna let that happen, Clark.
I scavenge so my family can eat. Please. I love someone who was beaten and tortured by a man who thought he could control her.
For my brother.
What if his death could save us all?
There we go. Objective thinking. I'm surprised that didn't come to your mind straight away, Maury.
Where will you go? I don't know either. I go home, I'll see their faces everywhere. The fence I tied my mother to before I cut off her fingers, before I cut my father's throat, before I cut my brother's throat.
I feel nothing.
That's a lie, because she couldn't take his
I
life.
don't believe you.
Just shut up.
You think you're a killer, but you couldn't kill me. I told you my sad story. Tell me yours.
Shut up!
I think the person you were before this happened is still in there.
Octavia!
Yeah. Looks like they're gonna kiss. Oh, they are going to? That's interesting.
Just make me feel something else.
We've seen this with Raven and Bellamy, haven't we? She thought it was going to make her feel better and it didn't. But that was unexpected, I'm not going to lie though. You know, I kind of like that scene, to be honest, because, I don't know, just in the cage, you're kind of like no clothes, minimalistic, do you know what I mean? Fire going, like proper caveman style. But, yeah, no matter how much that she says she's a changed person, she's not though, is she? She's still Octavia. Like I always keep saying, there's a difference between fighting for survival in battle and taking somebody else's life in cold blood. So, for example, say like you went to war, yeah? I'm not saying I could kill somebody, but what I mean is, if I went to war and I was in a battlefield and people shooting at me and we're shooting back, I could kill somebody that way. Well, then if I ran into a bedroom and somebody was cowering and scared in the corner, I could not go over there and just shoot them point blank. There's a different type of killing. It really, really is. Like, I don't care what anybody says. There's different types. There's fighting and survival and, you know what I mean, like battle kills, and then there's ruthless, point blank, cold-blooded, and she isn't that second side. And even he said that he could see it in her face, and it was so evident last episode. But those kissing, that was unexpected. Oh look, see what I mean? She's having some effects now.
Abby, are you there?
The black rain's here.
It's worse than we thought. The water won't be drinkable.
We lost what we had stored in the fire.
Are you there?
I'm here. There may be a solution. If I take a life to find a cure, does that make me a murderer?
I don't know how to answer that. I wish I did. Taking a life should never be easy.
Sometimes we need a different kind of strength. The storm's on its way out.
Please tell me that you read me.
Bellamy.
You did your best.
I can't protect anyone. I couldn't protect my sister.
Our responsibility and I failed. You did everything you could for her. You came to the ground for her.
Your mother would be proud of the man you've become.
You floated my mother.
Who you want to be doesn't always win.
I like their clothing. I do actually like his clothes.
Gone home.
Reckon she's gonna leave them there? She's just gonna ride past him and say, "Get on this horse, mate."
Get on.
It's obvious.
I'll take you home.
It's all that word from Octavia. Sorry.
You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved.
This can go technically two ways. They can end his life, or basically they can save him from the bad shit.
None of us like what we're doing.
Reckon everybody takes it differently though. Could work on him and not work on someone else.
I hope he survives.
Yeah, so I could kill him.
Kill him?
Yeah, that's fine, that.
Why would I do that?
Mary, who is he?
Someone other than me.
That was good, man.
Now that's a survivor's move.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's very good. Very clever. I like it. Murphy 2.0 right there. My counter to that is, you could have literally just said, mate, this guy's broken, he's trying to kill us, let's just use him as a human subject. Like, you could just reveal, yes, Clark, I did overhear your conversation with your mum, and we do have to test somebody. I was earwigging a little bit, not gonna lie, but you know what? I'm not hating. Because we're trying to survive on the earth. We're trying to come up with solutions. And if this is one we've got to do, this is one we've got to do. No problem with me. The only problem is if I'm the one that you choose. But guess what? This geezer, this is the guy we can use. It would work exactly the same. But again, I kind of like the little twist there. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? When she's beating him up, this is my brother. Do you know what I mean? This is what you've done to me. She's played on Clark's heartstrings. You know, Murphy's got the gun to him. I'm trying to just do whatever I can to survive. You know, he's being killed. It's pretty tight now if you think about it. I felt like he proper done Amori in. Do you know what I mean? Proper done her in. Savaged the brother and all that and tortured him. She was saying, you should have seen that we cut me. To be honest, I was going to say, mate, I would love to see you without them clothes on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got that rag on your head consistently, yeah, you've always covered up where you cuts. Do you know what I mean? At least everybody else, we've seen them in a t-shirt, we've seen them like with stab wounds. You know what I mean? Clark's been stabbed here and here. She's been cut a few times. You know what I mean? She's suffered it. I haven't seen him or anything. She's always full on hardcore ragged up. So I would have turned around and said, go on then, show us your cuts. You know what I mean? Like Oliver Queen on the back, absolutely slashed about. But I think it's good and really clever. And you know what? It's a tough one. I was 50-50 me when she asked Kane, if I kill somebody whilst trying to do like a science experiment to try and save the world, am I a murderer? That is a tough one. Now, I would say, yeah, this is my honest opinion, that if you've done an experiment on somebody that didn't volunteer and you forced them to do it, like today, and they died, yes, you murdered them. Yeah? But if you do an experiment on somebody that willingly says, come on, let's have a go, I'll sacrifice myself, let's hope it works, you're not. That's my line on it. Do you know what I mean? If I physically, yeah, do an advert out, like, for the NHS or whatever, and say, look, mate, we've got this new COVID, let's use COVID because it's a thing. Got this new COVID jab, we think it's going to go well, but there's a chance it's not going to go well. But we do need volunteers, so, you know, if you're willing to try and help everybody, put your name down. And then you put your name down, you come and take the jab, and you die. I've not murdered you. But if I'm walking around and say, you know what, I think I've got a cure for COVID here, just drag some guy from the street in a headlock and inject him, and he dies, mate, I've just killed him. And that's my outlook on it. It's a deep conversation, and she was like, will I be able to live for myself after it? Only you will know that, Abby. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one on the mind. You seen today in this episode that Bellamy was struggling with that whole concept of he feels like he's responsible for those two people dying in those woods, and he definitely isn't. The fact is, they was going to die without him attempting. He's attempted it, and it's not his fault he's not got there. Mother Nature's got in the way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, his car's got stuck. He can't leave that vehicle. He would condemn 3 lives then. It makes sense for him to stay there and ride the storm out, and it's not his fault. But the absolute brutal pain of sitting there knowing that you're so close, but yet so far away, and people are dying right over there, and you can't do anything about it, that's hard. Do you know what I mean? It is hard. And I respect him from going, and I understand his anger, emotion, his lash out or whatever. You got to just take it, but that is a tough one for Bellamy, that one. And that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, guys enjoyed it. So, I have got to start off by saying, because I do think, again, this is really deep. Obviously, I was just saying there about Bellamy. It's taking its toll on his mind. It's hard. They said it a couple of times this episode that you can't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. And do you know what? I agree and I disagree. Like, I totally agree with that statement, but I disagree in terms of the fact that I don't know if you've ever seen Euphoria. This is the only way I can kind of give an okay reference to it if you followed it. But Rue is a hardcore drug addict. Yeah, she is. She's consistently doing it, and her family are consistently fighting and helping and trying and pushing her and taking her to seminars, putting her in, you know, facilities. You know, they've got her on AA meetings. They're always monitoring her, taking drugs tests, and she's there. She's finding a way around it. She's still taking a drug. She's still hardcore in it. She is full-on addict. She doesn't want to stop taking it, but she does as well at the same time. Like, she's hardcore addicted to it. She loves it so much, but she understands that it's bad. And, like, no matter how many times she tries to be good, she still is bad. And everything around that situation is just getting worse and worse and worse. Her drug use. She's now dealing. She's smashing up the house. She's threatening the family. She's attacking the mum. She's breaking the doors. Do you know what I mean? And she's just spiralling out of full-on control. And whatever you're doing, it's getting... It's just getting worse. And the thing is, right, that's a perfect example of you can't save somebody that doesn't want to be saved. But my counter to that is that if you didn't try and save them, then you're condemning them to pretty much death or a life full of misery, so to speak. You need people there, you know what I mean? If they can't turn around at their desperate and worst point and see that somebody's there trying to motivate them, trying to support them, then they're never going to be in that mindset of let's improve, let's get better, let's get over this hurdle. So like, I do agree with the concept of you can't save someone who needs to be saved, but I feel like it's one of those things where you've got to be there for that person consistently, whether you dislike what they're doing, to show that they've got the support and people are willing and not giving up on them. Because as soon as somebody thinks that they've lost hope and there's nobody there, that's it, it's game over, it's done for. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing with like suicides and stuff. If somebody feels like they got nowhere to go, no corner to turn to, nobody to listen, no one to speak out, nobody who feels their emotions and they can actually open up to, then that's it. Why am I here? But if they turn around and they can see that they got friends and family and helplines and people and places to go, then there's always that little bit of hope that everything can get better. So I agree what they're saying, but I don't. They've always got to be there trying to support Octavia. And to be honest, I thought it was interesting today in terms of her and that Ilian, do you know what I mean? I did not expect them to end up getting together for the night, so to speak. It's interesting though that she's threw like a daggers now into the water, do you know what I mean? She's taking him on his merry way, kind of like to his little town, his little house. I'm excited obviously to see if this trial works with this human that they just injected now with the bone marrow. I'm hoping it's successful, to be honest, because if it is, you know what I mean, we can start rapidly going for it. But the fact is, how much bone marrow can he take out of Luna? Or can he like put it in him and he's cured, and then he take his bone marrow and put it in Amora and she's cured, and then take it from Amora and put it in Murphy? Do you know what I mean? Like, one of those things is like me to you, you to him, me to you, you to him, and it just expands like that. Do you know, that would be interesting as well. Sounds like we've totally just wiped the fact that they might go into space now. They're like, yes, we lost a barrel last episode, that's it, done for, you know what I mean? We scrap that plan, move forward, full steam ahead. Harper, you know what I mean? She thought that she was involved in somebody dying this episode. He was trying to pull on her back as he was running from obviously the acid rain. He ended up dying himself. Hopefully she isn't, she isn't too traumatized by that. Kane did say to her, do you know what I mean? Sometimes good intentions doesn't always work out, and they don't. You can have the best intentions or whatever's, but sometimes it just falls short. So that one again was interesting. And then obviously the fact that we've got this person now on the island, to be honest. I was going to say, you know what? Because Amori was saying he's usually got more people, but now you think about it, she was chatting. I was going to say it'd be interesting to see where his other friends are and how they're going to save him. But now it's a good twist that, you know, like she actually has no idea who it is. So that was decent. Definitely a Murphy move. And, you know, hopefully it works out well. So I can't wait to find out next episode. This one ended really good, and it's obviously got me excited for the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.